The uMkhonto Wesizwe Military Veterans Association says it will stop any attempts to arrest former President Jacob Zuma. The former president has refused to appear before the Zondo Commission despite a constitutional court ruling ordering him to do so. The ANC's former ex-combatants, led by its National Executive Committee, have visited Zuma at his Nkandla homestead. MKMVA spokesperson Carl Niehaus says they have now decided to deploy MKMVA members to the former president's home. Meanwhile, the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal believes Zuma's refusal to appear before the State Capture Commission will have profound implications on the unity of the party. To get some more insight on this, I'm joined by MKMVA President Kebby Maphatsoe. Ntate Maphatsoe, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Now, your visit to Nkandla sent many tongues wagging earlier this week, and many are asking if EFF leader Julius Malema's visit to Nkandla motivated your move to visit the former president.
Afternoon, Nkandla, and your viewers. We had the National Executive Committee of MKMVA on the 9th of January 2021, where we took a resolution that we must go and visit the former President Jacob Zuma and discuss also the 60th anniversary of the founding of uMkhonto Wesizwe and the unity of the African National Congress. So this visit, it was not prompted by the visit by Julius Malema. The problem is that we had challenges with the resources by then. That is why we went on the 11th to Nkandla to meet the former president.
Now, speaking about this visit, I mean, you are locked in a marathon meeting with the former statesman. Are you at liberty at this point to give us a bit more detail as to what transpired during the visit?
Look, our visit there, first and foremost, it was not to go and convince the former president to change his view. We went there to support the view that he has taken that he must not appear before the Zondo Commission, because we feel very strong and agree with his explanation that his constitutional right has been violated and trampled upon. And what we see in the media and the analysts, it is not explaining his side of the story, that his constitutional rights have been taken away. So our role as MKMVA, what we're discussing there, it is to make sure that we mobilize our people to understand that the judiciary also trampled on the rights of President Jacob Zuma, and not to listen to one story of those who hate former President Jacob Zuma.
So off the back of that, I mean, with the threat of arrest looming for the former President Jacob Zuma for defying the Constitutional Court and the Zondo Commission, the MKMVA seems adamant that the former president is neither going to exile or going to jail. Just talk us through that assertion.
You see, the problem here in South Africa is that we have been made to fear to criticize the judiciary, even if it is wrong, as if, you know, we are criticizing God. No. This judiciary, the judges, they are human beings. Former President Jacob Zuma applied for a review at the High Court. And while he was still waiting for the response, the proximity of the Deputy Chief Justice with the Constitutional Court, he went to the Constitutional Court. And when they responded, they said, you don't have a right to keep quiet. You must explain why are you saying you don't want to implicate yourself. So the right of being silent, keeping silent, has been taken away from President Jacob Zuma, but to other people it applies. Equally so, you have hosted from Professor Madonsela, and Professor Madonsela said to yourselves that this Zondo Commission, state capture, was created specifically for former President Jacob Zuma. So it is clear that this commission is not about corruption, but it wants to make former President Jacob Zuma the face of corruption, a person who cannot lead, a person who allowed people to do as they wish, a person who's delinquent. So we have taken very clear conscious decision as MKMVA that we will mobilize our people to explain to them how former President Jacob Zuma arrived at this decision of not appearing before the Zondo Commission.
But when asked what exactly is former President Zuma's plan, as it is clear that he was going to be summoned or even arrested to appear at these hearings, it seems that there was no clarity as to what exactly he will be doing going forward. Do you have any details on that front?
Look, this is not an easy process. We have tried to make sure we advise the judiciary, especially the Zondo Commission, that former President Jacob Zuma is just not like an ordinary person like myself. He has been a commander of uMkhonto Wesizwe. He has been a Secretary General of the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC. He has been the President of the ANC for 2 terms. He has been a President of the Republic, which also means that he was a Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of South Africa. And there are many people who love President Jacob Zuma, and they feel his pain because we live with them. Those who hate him, we don't mind with them, we don't care with them. But we are advising that they must never go that route of trying to arrest former President Jacob Zuma, because it might cause instability in our country. And these are the things that we discussed. And as MKMVA, that is why it is our duty that we will go around the country in the branches explaining why former President Jacob Zuma does not want to appear before the commission. It is because his constitutional right has been taken away, and the professor, former public protector, has alluded publicly, and she did not deny it, that this commission has been created specifically for Jacob Zuma. Already decisions have been taken. It's clear. Wait for the recommendation. You will see the outcome of the recommendation, that they will say Zuma is responsible for corruption.
But there's also the view that the ANC national leadership's inability to offer a clear way forward on how to deal with former President Jacob Zuma's refusal to appear at these hearings has again highlighted the divisions within the party. What is your view?
Look, we have been open and frank as MKMVA NEC, and we even met with the officials that the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress is highly factional, and it is known, even yourselves, you know that it is factional, and you won't be surprised with the outcomes of the NEC over this 2 days, that they will be factional based. So we want to encourage as MKMVA that let's stop this factionalism in the African National Congress. But there are people who have institutionalized factionalism in the ANC, and you can't do anything. But the ball is in our court of the ANC, whether we want to kill the ANC or we want the ANC to remain strong.
Now, of course, a part of the visit also saw images coming from Nkandla of your combatants also marching at the outskirts of the property. Talk to us about the deployment of MKMVA troops and what prompted this exercise.
Look, if it was not because of the regulations restricting the numbers of people, many cadres of uMkhonto Wesizwe would have liked to be part of the visit to Nkandla. So as time goes on, many a times you will see our comrades visiting the president as the former commander of uMkhonto Wesizwe, as a member of MKMVA, just to go and meet and exchange with him, with the views. And I must say that, you know, we learned more about the role of uMkhonto Wesizwe in the struggle, as he was explaining how we should celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of uMkhonto Wesizwe, and also about the ANC and the challenges facing the ANC, where do they come from, and how we should be able to try and assist the ANC to be united. We have learned a lot from the former president.
Now, as we wrap up our conversation, one of the remarks that you have made is that nothing is going to happen to former President Jacob Zuma. What gives you this confidence?
Look, we live amongst the people. And those who love former President Jacob Zuma, they say to us, they will never allow former President Jacob Zuma to go to jail. He fought against the apartheid regime. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. He came back and we overthrow the apartheid regime. And the same judiciary that is now democratic, that is supposed to protect his constitutional right, is the one that is violating his constitutional right. And therefore, our people are not happy outside unless you are living in another world. So we are explaining to our people, and we will continue to explain to our people, that former President Jacob Zuma did not arrive to this decision just because he's undermining the constitution. It is because his constitutional right has been taken away from him. So as MKMVA, we will not keep quiet when the constitutional rights of our people, whom we fought so hard for, are being trampled on. We want to fight in defense of the constitutional right of our people, including the former President Jacob Zuma.
That's the MKMVA's president, Kebby Maphatsoe, saying that nothing is going to happen to the former President Jacob Zuma.